middle to calm us all down.
No loss, though, right? Yeah.
So it's great.
Yeah. What happens, though, I know that the fans have a lot of questions. In fact, I'm going to ask a couple of fan questions later because I talked to some of the girls out front, and their questions are different than mine, I'll tell you. But what's a typical day on the road for the guys in Motley Crue? Obviously, you're doing interviews and stuff and a sound check. How much time do you spend doing that? And do you have any time to yourselves?
We sleep the rest of the day. Yeah, we sleep recuperating from the night before always.
Yes, of course.
We're definitely night people, you know, vampires or whatever. We stay up pretty late. Sleep during the day. Yeah.
But do you spend a lot of time working on the sounds in the different halls that you have to play in?
Yeah, well, I mean, like an average day would be, we get up 2 o'clock or whatever, you know, get up and do some interviews, and then we go to the hall, you know, get sound check, make sure the set's right. And by then, it's, you know, time for wine and tea to go on. The band's with us on tour. And time for us to drink. Time for us to drink. And prepare for the show. And then, yeah, it takes us like an hour to get ready, so there's more time to drink. We have a good time. I can't wait to drink some Canadian beer, by the way.
Oh, it's very good. Highly recommended. Highly recommended. It looks like we caught you with a good time of the day, though. I'm seeing clear eyes and a reasonably lucid performance here.
A couple hours from now, this won't be possible.
Later it'll be another story altogether. What makes Motley Crue different from other heavy metal bands?
Oh, God. We just do what we do best, I guess. We just have fun. Great time.
Do you fall into a classification of heavy metal? They talk about all the different kinds. Is it glam-style heavy metal?
Well, I don't think, for one, we don't look like all the other heavy metal bands that are around. That may be one of our... And we definitely have a different sound. Our sound is very root-oriented.
Right.
And it's, you know, very much from where we come from. You know, it's just I just don't hear any other bands sound like us. And I think a lot of bands take their whole trip too seriously. They like to have a good time, and there's a good bond between us and the fans. And we really enjoy the kids. We like to get out and, you know, meet them and hang out with them, and, you know.
That's one of the things they asked me. They said, what is it like when you get a chance to meet somebody? Is it just a quick, yeah, see you later? Or do you ever get a chance to talk with them? They really wanted to know that.
Sometimes. I mean, coming in here just now, we just didn't really have a lot of time, because we definitely were coming in here to do this live. But we'll go back out. We're going to spend some time with the kids, you know, enjoy it.
We've got the video for Looks That Kill, and it's almost an historic event now. I mean, it's almost the source of all this furor that's happened over different kinds of images and video and the lyric content and stuff. What were you guys thinking about when you made it?
It was just about what the song was about, you know? And that's what it's, you know, it's pretty self-explanatory.
All right, well, let it talk for itself then. This is Looks That Kill. Motley Crue on Much Music. We'll be right back. Tommy Lee, and as we said, that one's caused a lot of trouble. The symbols in there seem to bother a lot of people. Now, it looks to me like it's kind of an anti-devil worship message more than anything. What is it to you guys?
You know, the pentagram that we use on our album covers, in the Bible, it says, and where we got it from, is that it's actually a good luck symbol. And the English used it in the 1800s they were very superstitious, the pub owners, stuff to ward off evil, or to ward off werewolves is actually where it came from. But it's really a good luck symbol, and for whatever reason, you know, like the people we were talking about, the Washington Wives and the rating records, and they didn't really do their homework. I think they kind of embarrassed themselves.
I think they have too, and hopefully they'll maybe just blow themselves out of the water by. I mean, they pointed to stuff like "I'm on Fire" by Bruce Springsteen as being offensive.
I think they grabbed John Denver or someone like that. For Rocky Mountain High. Whoa.
Well, that's serious stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. Pretty heavy.
Now, the lyrics to "Too Young" have been cited in a number of cases as being misogynist, women-hating lyrics. How do you defend that when that charge comes up?
That song was written, the lyrics, like on the spur of a moment. Where they came from, I'm sure anybody, anywhere that's ever gone through a relationship, when if you're breaking up, or whatever kind of a relationship, it's work-related or whatever, a friend or a girlfriend, you're angry at the time, and it's very honest, the lyrics, you know, and people think it's about murdering a woman. Ooh.
Well, I mean, people's fantasies go as far as they wish, but they're only fantasies.
You can make something bad out of anything, you know, if you look at it. Our guitar player is saying, he says, what's the first thing people do when they see a spider going up the wall? So they kill it. You go, you can look at it as a negative thing or a positive thing.
Yeah. Now, what happens if your records start getting rated, and they're given X ratings or sex ratings, whatever you end up getting? Is it going to help? Is it in a sense that do you think more people will suddenly buy the records? It's like forbidden fruit, you know? Well, you shouldn't buy that record. Well, I'm going to go out and buy it, you know?
Ours gets like a triple X rating. Because if I went to a record store, I would definitely buy the triple X record over the X record.
Yeah.
I think it'll help.
Yeah.
You guys have been raked over the coals by the critics, too, in ways that amaze me. I mean, even Billboard magazine, which is a trade magazine, which normally just sort of, well, this happened and that happened, and then they did that song, felt they had to make really slagging type of remarks. What is it about the band that draws that furor?
Have you ever looked at some of these reviewers?
I don't want to be one, though.
These guys are in bad shape.
Ranging from 55 to
65.
65.
Let's say that they don't exactly have groupies, all right? So you might be rated out there.
All right, fair enough. I got a couple of fan questions for you. They want to know, and you'll have to handle these as you will, is Mick Mars really related to Ronnie James Dio?
Wow.
No.
No.
And are you going out with Heather Locklear?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. What do you think of David Lee Roth?
He's cool.
He's great. All right, he is great, isn't he?
He talks a lot.
He talks a lot.
If your fans come to visit you in California, will you receive them?
Well,
if that means taking them in, no.
Okay. And what beach do you hang out on in California?
Well, Vince lives in down by the beach in Redondo.
Right.
Vince can get away with going to the beach. I can't.
Yeah.
You'll see too many people with black hair hanging out at the beach.
Yeah. Tattoos and briefs on, you know?
Yeah.
Whoa, who's that?
And
Get him off the beach!
What about the hearing aid video? Is that expected soon? And did you guys have a good time participating in that?
It was actually Vince and Mick that did that. Me and Tommy were in the studio.
Yeah.
Oh, I see, right.
Finishing up Theater of Pain. And they had a real good time with it. And I don't really know when it's going to be out, but from what I've heard from people that were in it, it's a real good thing.
All right, let's come back and talk about the new LP, Theater of Pain, in just a moment. But first, here's Too Young to Fall in Love from Motley Crue and Much Music. Nikki Sixx and Tommy Lee, and great having you guys here. Tell me, what's happening since the tragedy that the band went through earlier this year? Are you guys a tighter outfit as a result of that? How does it make you feel?
Definitely. After Vince's misfortune, we obviously came together and helped the cat out, you know, and became like closer as friends as well as band members.
We've always been tight, and that just helped to, you know, make it tighter. Thing is, I'd been in a bad car accident, and so had Tommy previous to that, and we were both very drunk when it happened. And then that happened to Vince, who wasn't nearly, you know, under the influence as us, and we all said, you know, this could have happened to me, or it could have happened to Tommy or Mick or any of our friends, and it's something that we said, you know, it's time to like straighten up about that. You know, about drinking and driving at the same time. You know, drink if you want, great, but don't drive. And so it made us tighter. And hopefully you made it aware through our record of, you know, helping some kids out to realize that too.
Yeah. One thing we understand is that it's caused a lot of financial problems for you guys. Because the understanding I have is that basically the profits from your albums have gone to buy you out of an old deal, buy you out of a management contract, and now the financial obligations here. Where does it leave the group?
Well, we didn't have to...
Can I give you guys a loan? I mean, can I help you out here?
Got a quarter. Well, actually, we didn't have to buy out of any old contracts. That's rumor.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's get rid of that one then.
Yeah. In fact, all that's rumor.
Right. We got the new LP here. It is called Theater of Pain. And Nikki, you're credited with the concept on the record. What is with the Commedia dell'arte connection here?
I like to read, and it's something I came across, and I actually have not that exact artwork, but that tattooed on my arm, and I've had it for a long time. It's something I've always really thought would be neat to bring through a concept, and we all got together and put our heads together and put it into a stage show that's real neat. It's like going back to the 1500s, bringing a theater back to 1985 and adding all the modern touches to it, and that's what our stage set's like, and it's real neat.
And rock and roll band
Sick.
Oh, sounds wonderful. Now, there's something that's mentioned inside the album I'm curious about. Maybe you can tell me whether this is rumor or not. I'm sure it's one of those little jokes that occurs on sleeves of records. An official biography called The Comedy and the Tragedy.
Yeah.
That's for real?
Yeah. It's actually, now it's just called The First 5 Years. It was called The Comedy and the Tragedy, The First 5 Years. We just shortened the title. And it's just the first 5 years of the band's career. It has a lot of pictures from Vince's collection of photos. And of just the band, just where we used to have an apartment all together, you know, in the early days.
Some funny photos in there.
Some really wild. So we used to play the Whiskey a Go-Go, and we'd get off stage, we'd walk out the back door, and 2 places up was our apartment, and the whole audience
up for drinks and stuff.
And Vince would go, "Oh, everyone coming for drinks at our house." 400 people trashed the place.
It's pretty much all
like that.
Pretty much all pictures. You know, it's not some big in-depth like story on the crew or nothing. It's just pretty much like a book to like flip through with a bunch of pictures of just some really wild stuff that we've been through.
Yeah, and you're lucky to have it documented.
Yeah. It's not like something boring that you just read through.
So are there some true stories mixed in there with the photos?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
I'm sure there.
There's some stuff we can't talk about live in there.
Well, there you go. That's an invitation to buy a copy, I think. Yeah. Now, we've got the video coming up for the old Brownsville Station song, and you've done a new video you were just telling me. Which one have you just finished?
Home Sweet Home, the ballad off the album. We filmed that in Houston and in Dallas, Texas.
It's basically live. It's obviously synced up to the music on the record.
Right.
And then we went back to L.A. about 7 days ago and did, there's a setup of 4 setups where Tommy's at this party. I'm in a bar, Vince is on the beach, and Mick's like in this old castle, and this phone rings for each guy, and we say we're on our way, because for us, Home Sweet Home, like right now, today is Toronto.
Right.
Being on stage.
It's being on stage, and that's what it's all about. And the rest of the show is all getting together and then going on tour. And it's a lot of live stuff, backstage stuff. It's neat.
Sounds like fun. How do you feel about releasing a ballad? Is that in keeping with what people expect from you guys?
If you can expect something from us, we'll probably not do it.
Yeah.
We've always been like that.
Good. Thanks for coming today. I got a couple of official T-shirts to present you guys with. Wear them in good health. And let's see, these are from the Much Music Power Hour, where Motley Crue is featured predominantly.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Super.
Thank you both very much. Good luck with the rest of the tour. Good luck with the LP. Smoking in